Hari Om students, today we are going to discuss about part 2 of probability. In our previous video, we had a discussion about introduction of probability and few types of probabilities and properties of probabilities with some examples. Here we have part 2 video which consists of few more examples to understand our probability concept to get more idea about probability. Let us start the part 2 video of probability with some more examples. Here we have example number 6. Savita and Hamida are friends. What is the probability that both will have different birthdays, same birthday, not a leap year? Here we have total 2 students, 2 friends are there. And we are discussing about their birthdays, which is not a leap year. Let us see the solution, how to solve it. As we know that number of days in a non-leap year is 365 days. Out of 365 days, getting different birthdays and getting same birthday. For example, when we talk about Hamida's birthday is different from Savita's. Here you have a problem. Savita's birthday and Hamida's birthday. Hamida's birthday is different from Savita's. For example, when Savita birthday is 1st January, let us consider the birthday of Samida's is 1st January. When Savita's birthday is 1st January, then what about Hamida's birthday? Then Hamida's birthday will be other than 1st January, because here we are discussing about different birthdays. Their birthdays will not on same day, different birthdays. So that when Savita's birthday is 1st January, other than 1st January, remaining 364 days, any one of the day is Hamida's birthday. So now the favorable outcomes of Hamida's are 364. So we have total 365 days. In that one day is Savita's birthday. Leaving that one day, remaining 364 days are Hamida's birthday. Any one of the day out of those 364 days is Hamida's birthday. Now what is her probability? Now the probability of Hamida's birthday is different from Savita's birthday is 364 by 364, because the total number of favorable outcomes are 364. Total possible outcomes are 365 days. So 364 by 365. This is about different birthdays. Now let us come for the same birthday. Same birthday in the sense both should have only one day. For example, if Savita's birthday is 1st January, means Hamida's birthday is also must be on 1st January. Means favorable outcomes are only one. That we are going to do here. Probability of Savita and Hamida's have the same birthday means 1 minus 364 by 365, that is 101 by 365. 1 is our total probability. From that we are subtracting the both have different birthdays. Different birthdays, how many are they? 364 by 365. When we remove that, we have 1 by 365, which gives us birthday on same date. So getting Savita and Hamida's birthday on same day is the probability is 1 by 365. Let us see example number 7. There are 40 students in a class of a school, of whom 25 are girls and 15 are boys. The class teacher has to select one student as a class representative. She writes the name of each student on a separate card, the cards being identical. Then she puts cards in a bag and stirs them thoroughly. She then draws one card from the bag. What is the probability that the name written on the card is the name of a girl, a boy? Very easy problem. We need to just understand the question. We have a 10th class. There are 40 students in a class. Out of that 40, we have 25 girls and 15 boys. The class teacher has to select one student as a class representative. To select a class representative without partiality, the teacher is doing that, writing the names of all the students on separate card and stirs them and getting one card randomly. So in that selection, getting a girl and getting a boy, what is the probability? Simple, direct concept here. There is no confusion for us. Let us see how to solve the problem. So total number of students in a class 40. Number of boys 15, number of girls are 25. Probability of getting a girl. What is the probability formula? Here we have a formula. Number of outcomes favorable to E by number of all possible outcomes of the experiment E. Now getting a girl is a favorable outcomes. We have 25 girls. So 25 and total possible outcomes. Total class, how many students are there? 40. So the probability is 25 by 40, that is nothing but 5 by 8. So getting a girl child as a class representative is 5 by 8. Now coming to probability of getting a boy. So probability of getting a boy is nothing but getting a boy in the sense not getting a girl. So here we are doing the probability of E naught, as we know that this is nothing but not E, complement. So probability of E naught is equal to, from the total probability when we subtract that girl's probability, we have the boy probability 3 by 8. It can be do directly also, because we have total number of boys are 15 and total number of students in a class are 40. Directly you can do that, 15 by 40. There also you get 3 by 8. So getting a girl as a class representative, the probability is 5 by 8. Getting a boy as a class representative is 3 by 8. So girls are having more number of probability, because more number of girl students are there in a class, so that they have more chances to be a class representative. This is about example number 7. We have example number 8, another different model. A box contains 3 blue, 3 white and 4 red marbles. If a marble is drawn at random from the box, what is the probability that it will be white, blue, red? It is also direct concept. We have 3 different colors of marbles. Now we need to select white marble, blue marble, red marble. By selecting white, blue, red, what is the probability? Let us see that how to solve this problem. Total number of marbles in the box. How many are there? 3 blue, 3 white and 3 red color marbles we have. Total 10 marbles. Now probability of getting white marble. So we have a formula. What is the formula? Number of favorable outcomes by total number of possible outcomes. How many white marbles we have? We have only 3 white marbles. So 3. Total number of marbles are 10. So 3 by 10 is the probability of getting a white marble. Similarly, probability of getting a blue marble. Again the formula is number of favorable outcomes by total number of possible outcomes. Now how many blue marbles we have? Again we have 3 blue marbles and total number of marbles are 10. The probability is 3 by 10. And last one, probability of getting a red marble. Again the same formula, number of outcomes favorable to E by number of possible outcomes of the experiment E. So here we have total 4 red marbles. The probability is 4 by 10. When we simplify it, we get 2 by 5. So the direct concept, applying the direct formula without any confusion. We have 3 white marbles, 3 blue marbles and 4 red marbles. So total number of marbles are 10. Getting white marble is 3 by 10. Getting blue marble is 3 by 10. Again getting red marble is 4 by 10, which is simplified 2 by 5. This is about example number 8. Here we have another different model of example number 9. See that Harpreet is a girl tosses two different coins simultaneously. Say one is 1 rupee coin and other is 2 rupees coin. What is the probability that she gets at least one head? She gets at least one head. How to solve this problem? Let us see here. So first you need to understand the question. Here we are having two coins. One is 1 rupee coin. Another one is, here I have 1 rupee coin and 2 rupees coin. So when we have 1 rupee coin and 2 rupees coin, both we are tossing at a time. In what way we are tossing? Taking two coins and just tossing two coins. When 1 rupee coin and 2 rupee coin, both if you toss at a time, definitely you have two outcomes. What are the two outcomes we have? First, if I toss 1 rupee coin, if I toss 2 rupees coin, so on 1 rupee I may get tail and 2 rupee I may get tail. So let us see how many possible outcomes are there. Then how to find the probability. Solution. Tossing two coins at a time is an experiment. Now, what are the possible outcomes we are having? So, the possible number of outcomes we are having here, total I am getting 4 possible outcomes. What is that? Tail, 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 head, head, tail, head, head. So, tossing 1 rupee coin, I got tail. Again, tossing 2 rupee coin, again I got tail. So, this is one possible outcomes. Next, tossing 1 rupee coin, I got tail. Tossing 2 rupees coin, I got head. This is another outcome. So now I have tossed 1 rupee coin, I got head. 2 rupee coin, I got tail. So this is one possible outcome. Next, 1 rupee coin when I toss, I got head. 2 rupees coin when I toss, I got again head. So these are the possible outcomes we have. So total number of possible outcomes are 4. Now, once again, here the question, when you understand that, I need, what I need? I need at least one head. She get at least one head. What is the meaning of at least one head? So at least one head means minimum one head we have to get, means one or more. One or more. Where we have the possibility getting one or more heads is, here we have total 3. How many possible favorable outcomes we have? 3 we have. These are the 3 favorable outcomes, because in this I have one head, here I have one head and here I have 2 heads. I said at least means one or more. I have 3 favorable outcomes. Let us see the probability. Now, probability of experiment, the formula we are writing here, number of favorable outcomes by total number of possible outcomes. Now probability of getting at least one head means 3 by 4. Why 3 by 4? Just now I have explained to you. Here the favorable outcomes are, these are the 3 favorable outcomes. And total number of outcomes are 4. We have total 4 possible outcomes. So the probability is 3 by 4. A simple question. Now, example number 12. A carton consists of 100 shirts, of which 88 are good, 8 have minor defects and 4 have major defects. Jimmy, a trader, will only accept the shirts which are good, but Sujata, another trader, will only reject the shirts which have major defects. One shirt is drawn at random from the carton. What is the probability that it is acceptable to Jimmy? It is acceptable to Sujata. By seeing the length of the problem, don't panic. It is very easy problem. Just read slowly the question so that you can get the idea how to solve the problem. Listen here. Total how many shirts we have? 100 shirts we have. We are having 100 number of shirts. In that, how many are in good condition? Yes, we are having 88 shirts are in good condition and 8 have minor defects, 4 have major defects. So we have 3 kinds of shirts out of 100. So total number of shirts are 100 shirts. Out of 100 shirts, we have 88 are good, 8 have minor defects, 4 have major defects. Now there are 2 traders. One is Jimmy, another one is Sujata. Jimmy accepts the shirts which are good, but Sujata can accept good one and which are having minor defects also. Now the solution. Total number of shirts 100. Number of shirts are in good 88. Number of shirts are in minor defects 8. Number of shirts are in major defects are 4. Here we need to see the favorable outcomes to Jimmy as well as to Sujata. Jimmy only accept the shirts which are good. Now what are the favorable outcomes to Jimmy? 88. So the probability for her is number of favorable outcomes to Jimmy is 88 because she accepts only good one. So probability of shirts accepted by Jimmy is 88 by 100, which gives us 22 by 25. Next, let us come for Sujata. Now probability for Sujata. First we need to go for favorable outcomes. Number of favorable outcomes to Sujata. Now how many are there? We have 88 plus 8 because 88 are in good condition, 8 are in minor defects. So that 88 plus 8 is 96. Now the probability of shirts accepted by Sujata is nothing but 96 by 100, that is nothing but 24 by 25. This is about example number 12. Very simple problem, but no need to think more about it. Just reading the question is important and understanding the concept is important for us. So here Jimmy is having the probability 22 by 25. Sujata is having the probability 24 by 25. Now, here we have another interesting problem, that is example number 30, which is last example. 2 dice, one blue and one grey, are thrown at the same time. Write down all the possible outcomes. What is the probability that the sum of the two numbers appearing on the top of the dice is 8, 13, less than or equal to 12? A very simple question and very interesting question. How many dice we are having? 2 dice we are having. In that, one is blue, another one is grey. Now what we need to do? We have to write down all the possible outcomes. First, how many possible outcomes will come? That we need to identify. Let us see how. Solution. Throwing 2 dice at a time is an experiment. Now what is our experiment here? Throwing 2 dice at a time is our experiment. When we throw 2 dice at a time, how many possible outcomes are getting? That is nothing but 6 6 are 36. When we throw 1 die, we have 6 outcomes. When we throw 2 dice at a time means 6 6 are 36 favorable outcomes we are getting. Possible outcomes are 36. Now they asked, list out the possible outcomes. Here we have the table. Yes, this is about the all possible outcomes. So this is about blue die and this is about grey die, and when we throw both the dice at a time, these are the possible outcomes we have. Means on blue you may have 1, on grey you may have 1. So the possible outcome is 1 comma 1. The blue you have 1, the grey one you may have 2. The favorable outcome is 1 comma 2. Again 1 comma 3, 1 comma 4. Like that you have total 6 6 36 possible outcomes. When we have 36 possible outcomes. In that, what is our requirement? Once again read the question. They asked that when we are throwing two dice at a time, you have two individual outcomes. On one die, for example, on blue die, the top you may have outcome is 1. On grey, on top you may have the outcome is 3. Now on blue die you have 1, on grey die you have 3. Now 1 plus 3 gives us 4. Like that, we have to find the sum. Now the first question, getting 8 as the sum, how many favorable outcomes we have? Getting 8 is the sum of both the dice. How many favorable outcomes we have? Once if you know the number of favorable outcomes, it is very easy to find the probability also. Similarly, getting the sum is 13. Similarly, getting less than or equal to 12 as the sum. First, we need to go for favorable outcomes. Now, first one, getting the sum is 8. I will explain. Here I have an outcome 2, 6, 3, 5, 4, 4, 5, 3 and 6, 2. Just if you observe these outcomes, so 2 plus 6, 8, 3 plus 5, 8, 4 plus 4, 8, 5 plus 3, 8, 6 plus 2, 8. Now all these gives for us 8, 8, 8, 8. Means total how many we are having? We are having 5 favorable outcomes. So these 5 favorable outcomes gives us the sum is 8. Similarly, 13, they asked what the sum is 13. Once you observe here, the least sum is 1 plus 1, 2. And the least sum here we have 6 plus 6 is 12. So the minimum sum we are getting 2, the maximum sum we are getting 12. There is no possibility to get 13. Means getting 13 is what? Impossible event. Now the third one, less than or equal to 12. How many are they? Sum of? The sum should come less than or equal to 12. See, all these are nothing but less than or equal to 12. So how many favorable outcomes we have? All 36 possible outcomes are our favorable outcomes. Now let us see the solution. Favorable outcomes to get the sum is 8 or 2, 6, 3, 5, 4, 4, 5, 3, 6, 2. Just now I have shown you from the table. These are the favorable outcomes. To get the sum is 8. Now, the probability of sum is 8 is equal to number of outcomes favorable to E by number of all possible outcomes to E. The answer is 5 by 36. Now similarly, getting probability, the sum is 13. As I told you, when we throw two dice, we have 36 possible outcomes. From all the 36 possible outcomes, the minimum sum we get 2, the maximum sum we get 12. There is no chance of getting 13. So getting 13 is what? Our impossible event. What is the probability of an impossible event? Is always 0. So here the favorable outcomes are 0. The answer you get 0 by 36, that is equal to 0, which is called an impossible event. Now getting the sum is less than or equal to 12. As I told you from the table, all 36 possible outcomes are our favorable outcome. Means we have the probability of getting the sum is less than or equal to 12 is 36 by 36, which gives us the answer 1. Where we have the probability is 1, that event is nothing but called sure event. So here getting 13 is an impossible event. Getting sum is less than or equal to 12 is nothing but our sure event. This is about example number 13. With this example, successfully we have completed all our textbook examples. In our next video, we are going to have exercise problems. To watch our all online video classes, you have to subscribe our GVK Chinmaya channel. When you are able to subscribe the GVK Chinmaya channel, automatically you will get the notification for all your online video classes and all activities related to Chinmaya Vidyalaya. Hari Om. Thank you.